is Danielle and I'm from Cageless Readings. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. So today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking at what lessons were you meant to learn in this karmic situation that you're leaving. So this could be a work situation, a relationship situation, a friendship situation, a family relationship situation. I'll just stress that whatever you're intuitively asking about, you will be drawn to one of the piles if it has a message for you. So that being said, we're just going to be using this Kyle Gray Gateway of Activation Oracle cards just to see what karmic lessons you are learning from all of it. Okay. All right, that all being said, I'm just going to clear the energy here quick. We do this to ground yourselves, clear the environment or the energy you're in, and just get you realigned and attached and in tune with your intuition. So if you have headphones on, you might want to take out, or sorry, not take out your headphones. You might want to turn down your headphones. And I'm going to do this 3 times. And that's just my cat Toby here, who you're hearing in the background. Okay, so pile 1. You have this card. It says change, and it says Thunder Moon, number 35. Not sure if you can quite see all the details on it. Okay, and then pile 2 is the Waning Crescent 5. It says peace, and the number with it is 28. Pile 3 is Waxing Gibbous 4. The word is will, and the number is 13. She kind of looks like a clown to me for some reason. I don't know why. Clearly she is not a clown. All right, so if you need a few more seconds here, I'll give you that. But if not, if you're drawn to one of the piles, you will see you all in your piles, in your readings. Hello, pile 1. So you chose the card change. Just have it over here in this corner. There you go. I'll just tuck it under here. And we're just going to pull 6 cards asking what karmic lesson are you learning, or were you kind of destined to learn from the situation? Why did the situation happen? What are you learning? All on your high skid in love and light. Pile 1. Okay, so we have Stargate Heart. We have Third Eye Activation. We have Karmic Board Clearing. That's actually a great card to get when we're asking why you're leaving a karmic situation. I would say this is a great confirmation that you're learning the karmic lesson so it doesn't repeat, so you don't find yourself in it again. So I really just am feeling called to clarify for any of you who are feeling like whatever situation or relationship dynamic that you are exiting out of, that it has been a pattern for you in your past, and you're just thinking like, how many more times am I going to learn this lesson? How many more times am I going to be in this dynamic or this pattern and go in this cycle. I think this time things are different. It's hit you a different way. You might be in a place where you are more like emotionally aware of what's going on within you. You have some sort of a support system, or I don't know. I feel like not everyone has a really strong support system at this point. But I do just feel like you have more tools now to process this patterning, like what's going on within you. How does it keep coming up? So I just keep getting the word wisdom for this pile. You have more wisdom around what is going on. So you do not believe it's going to keep repeating. It's different. The way it's ended is different than it's been in the past. We have Anukai light codes, Anuki light codes, higher heart activation, stellar gateway activation. Okay, I love this higher heart activation coming up for you, because when I saw this card, so drawn to this person. It's a woman in this card. I feel like she's in her heart energy and she's pushing back against the opposing forces. So what does that what does that mean? To me, it just means that she's no longer gonna keep following patterns. Like, she's moving things. She's like, you know what? No, I had enough of this. I'm not going to keep doing this. So I really like this. And this might even be why it's saying, like, you have like the karmic board clearing. I wonder if in these past patterns or situations, because I do feel like you've been in multiple ones, so they mirror each other. There's like similar wounding that's coming through. I think you even know this. I think I'm just further confirming or validating what you already know. So like, for example, if you might always have a certain type of boss, or you might always be treated the same way at a position at work, or you might keep attracting in the same sort of romantic partners or close friends, or they might have a certain personality type in all those. You might keep coming across the exact same personality type. And I just feel like for this pile, I think every time you've gone through it, you've learned a little bit. You've definitely grown some wisdom, grown some awareness is the word they're using. You learn more and more awareness, self-awareness, and awareness of what's going on within others. I think there's some mirroring stuff that comes up. I think you start to realize that it's not always your stuff, that people are... Sorry, my one cat Toby's going a little crazy. He's like running up all these cat shelves, up to the window, yelling at it, jumping down all of them, yelling at the bottom of the... Now that I've said this and I'm talking, he stopped, but I'm sure he'll start again. Seems to be a routine he likes to do is when I start recording these readings, or if I'm just here and I'm not doing something with him. So anyways, it's interesting. I keep wanting to touch this crown chakra thing here, this amethyst, which just, I don't know. What does that mean? It makes me feel better. It makes me feel better while I'm doing your reading. So I just wonder, I do feel like a lot of your cards here, sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I feel like, and I'll just say this before I forget it, there is literally a lot of, if you've heard people say, downloads coming in. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of intuition coming through your crown chakra. It's so interesting. So oh, you do have a Merkaba here. Okay. This is actually a Merkaba. This little thing here in the corner. And there's a bunch of different ones. And I was like, no, I need to put the Merkaba in this pick a card pile. I need to. It's so important. And it kind of makes sense because like lately in Reiki sessions, I will have people. This has really only started since I got dumped, so it's kind of interesting. I always like do a little practice poll for the collective. So I should say, like, for these YouTube readings, I'll like pull cards to see if the information kind of makes sense. Or if, when I do it for myself, I'm like, okay, does this make sense? Or should I have used a different deck or asked a different question? And the thing I got was that when I got out of my romantic partnership, that it activated me to help activate other people. So every time I see people's Merkabas now, it's like, so it's not me. People don't need me to do this. I have to be clear. I'm no more special than anybody else in the world. Everyone can do anything. I truly believe that. I know some people aren't going to like that statement, but I truly believe it. That's my belief system. Anyone can do anything. Maybe you're just not going to be a natural at it, but you can get there. I'm not a natural at almost anything, and I've learned so many skills. So that's why I believe in people. Because I know from experience that eventually, if you really want it, you can get there. Anyways, where I'm going with all this, with the Merkaba, is it's people's higher selves keep coming through in these Reiki sessions and telling me, basically, it shows me like their Merkaba, kind of like a Rubik's Cube, and it's just like, just changing some things around so that they can be activated. Or so that like the activations or this other higher self, this other aspect of them comes through more. It has permission from themselves, so like yourselves, to come through more. I don't know. This might be too confusing to explain on a YouTube pick a card reading. It's all like ethereal explanations, and then I don't know if I'm explaining this right at all. But anyways, so it's kind of what I keep seeing. So I think you are literally being activated. I think your Merkabas are bringing in. I don't think it's just the crown. I think your Merkabas are kind of configuring and changing things around and bringing in different timeline versions of yourself, higher timeline versions of yourself, different aspects of yourself. And that would come through, I guess you could say, like the crown chakra. Because I feel like I see all this stuff, these like literal like pillar downloads, like codes coming through. So cool. Super cool. Oh, here comes Toby again. But the other thing that there's such a big emphasis on is the heart chakra energy for you. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Toby. Oh, you're bored. You bored? Oh, you huffing now? Sorry, Toby. You're not looking at me? He's mad. Okay. And I am just trying to tune in to what is up with the heart energy coming in so strongly. It says, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. Heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity. I think these cards might even have had the answer for me. Because as I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, I think that's it. I keep getting like, I think you might have forgiven the people. Not forgetting, I want to be very clear, but I think you've forgiven this, like whoever these people are who have been in the role of this lesson. So what am I trying to say here? So if it was a boss, you feel like you've forgiven the boss, even though you don't like what they did, you don't like how they behaved, but I feel like there's this higher awareness, this deeper awareness of being like, oh, I see that the way they were behaving was actually just all them. It was not me. It was never me. There's their insecurities in themselves. This thing being mirrored. So I even wonder too if through that mirroring you can see what wounding you had, because you might have been reflecting it back at each other in some way. So anyways, I do feel like there's just so much wisdom. I feel like your reading is so random and all over the place. Like, it feels chaotic, ungrounded, super ungrounded. Which I'm trying to figure out what is the message behind this. Like, what is with this? I think it might just even go to show, like, I think you're just spending so much time in these higher realms Like all this stuff is very, very like I don't know, like not present on Earth. Like everything I see, like here's like earthy stuff, but it's like in the distance. Here's earthy stuff, but it's in the distance. Here's some pyramids, but they're in the distance. And I just wonder if like through like the way that you've been healing through this is by going to meditation, getting, maybe you're literally listening to channeled light language, or maybe you're literally listening to activations, meditations that are activations. And I do feel like they have been very, very great for you. I really want to be clear there. I think they've been awesome. But I do feel like there's a little bit of a message here to just remember to ground yourself from time to time. Just to remember that. Because the other crystal we have here is this pyramid. And this one is all about the, like, I still can't remember what it's called. I just remember it's like, I think they called it like the Mother Earth Stone. Like it's just super rooted. It's super earthy. It's probably a type of jasper, without a doubt. Looks like there's little fossils or something in it. And it's interesting, you got these pyramids going on all over the place. But I think it's just a reminder that to be more grounded in the body, just to make sure, like, this is, I have such a hard time saying this because I feel like this really has been so healing for you. That's why I keep kind of going back and forth on my words here. I feel that it is so healing for you, and I'm not telling you to stop. I'm just telling you to remember to check in and make sure you're grounded, you're rooted, that you're in both worlds at the same time, not just in this other world, okay? That's what I'm trying to say, because I feel like some of you are like, I don't want to go back to not remembering the magic and the love in this multi-universe stuff, okay? No, I'm not saying that. Just remember that you are still a human on Earth, in a 3D dominant reality, okay? You gotta be grounded. Yeah, I think you keep getting so many portal energies too. What is up with that? Okay, the other thing I'm also getting for you, I'm getting a lot of stuff. I kind of was just acting what you're being activated in, but I'm actually just getting a lot of messages about what you're experiencing. Which maybe it's just what you're wanting to hear right now, and that's why it's coming through. But I keep getting that you are doing a lot of things, like energy portals, light code portals. That's what they keep saying. There's so many portals. You're playing around with portals. So what does that mean? I feel like you know what that means. Like, I wonder if some of you, honestly, if this is not resonating, I really feel like for this pile, you are doing something around learning light language or learning activation code. Like, I keep getting those two words, light language and activation. I don't know why I feel like I'm trying to prove to you that this is what you're doing. I wonder if you listen to other people who do this, like channeling, maybe you know Lee Harris, Bashar, or I feel like you know more feminine people. I don't know why this energy feels very feminine, and I think you're being inspired by. So I don't know a lot of female channelers, but I feel like whoever they are, these female channelers, I think you might be comparing against them a little bit, and you're like, I'm not doing that, I wish I could do that. This is just pretty strongly coming through that you are doing that. You're doing a lot of it. You're almost just only living in that realm. Lots of channeling, and that's even why it feels so good, and that is great. I'm so happy you feel good. I keep wanting to say that because I feel like you've really changed your perspective on things. You've really shifted in how you're seeing the entire situation and the pattern and the reason for it. And I feel like there is truly like a forgiveness around it. But yeah, you are doing this. I don't know if you're trying to do this for work or like, it's just I keep getting some self-doubt coming through where you're like, I don't know. If you're like trying to do something and you're like, I'm not ready for this, I just keep saying, you are ready. You are for sure ready. And these two little beings up here, I think they're is that the Anunnaki or something? I don't know. But I feel like if you're someone who is like, I'm trying to channel energy from, what is that called? The Galactic Federation, or from this certain civilization, I think you are doing that. I have no doubt. Absolutely no doubt that that isn't what you're doing. So, very specific reading. This is not resonating. You might need to choose a different pile. But, yeah. I'm just like, sorry, I keep pausing because I'm like, where are we going with this? They keep telling me the same message again and again. Where are we going with this, Spirit? Why are you telling me this again and again? Okay, thank you. New path. Change. The change card's coming through, and all these are leading down a new path. New path. New path. New path. New path. End of a cycle into a new path. Definitely. So this is why they're emphasizing that you need to realize you're doubting yourself, because you are doing this already, and you are ready to step ahead on this new path, this new journey. So if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, or something, there's something you want to start where you are sharing this. It could be a podcast, maybe, I don't know, I can't think of other platforms that would be on, but I just see like you getting this out to the public. Maybe you want to do like performances or tours or something where you're singing out these kind of downloads, or playing music that has these downloads. Whatever it is, I feel like you're ready for it. End of the old cycle, your energy is completely shifted. You're ready. You're so ready for it. I even feel like this is like you seeing your true self, like not even seeing the human you understand you're so much more than that. Change is huge. And you might even be drawn to looking up the meaning of cycles, as there is so many. Also, as soon as I said that, I got the message. It's like birds of a flock together. Is that the expression? Birds of a flock? I don't know. Something like that. But I feel like if you're also like, this is too weird, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I also get that, oh, birds of a feather flock together. That's what it is. I feel like once you step into this energy and you put yourself out there, you'll find your flock. You'll find your group of people. They'll see you and they'll find you. Yeah. You'll just even know, because look at the kind of energy you're in. You're going to find each other easily. So what has been activated in you? Why was this karmic pattern so important? To clear it, so you could become this higher evolved, very, very spiritual being, embodiment of spirituality. That's not quite right. It's like I'm trying to explain it, but I don't quite know how to explain it. Truly embodying all aspects of yourself on all timelines and dimensions. I feel like I gotta like add something like that in. Following your heart. You got 2 cards talking about that. Following your heart. Your higher heart, which is why I even keep thinking like this is so about like the ethereal realms and like bringing them into the 3D and normalizing that the physical realm doesn't just have physical things happening in it. There's always all this other stuff happening. Third eye activation, inner vision, clear seeing. Yeah, I just even feel like this all goes with that. Like, just, like, I don't know, whatever situation you got out of, I wonder if you just even could see things differently just like that. Like, I don't know, maybe you could see light codes. You could hear light codes or something like that. I feel like something like that changed for you and it just clicked in. It's like whatever fear or block happened, when you got out of that situation, this karmic situation just activated. I think that's what happened. Light codes, energy shift, new information, and a cycle. I really do think this bio works in light language, light codes, energy codes. I don't know what other words you might use to describe it. Yeah. I'm trying to ask if there's a different word that comes through, but I just keep getting the light codes, energy codes. Light language comes through very clearly, and I do think some of you are voice channelers of some sort. Definitely. Okay. I'm kind of like, is there anything else I need to share with this pile? I think that's just like the main confirmations. Changing. I kind of want to read this card for you. This, where's the guidebook? That Anunnaki light codes. Because I don't know if this is Anunnaki people up here, but I think you are in some way communicating, working with them, channeling in their energy, channeling in their wisdom, learning some of their wisdom. I'm not positive exactly what it looks like for every individual here, but something big is happening there. Okay. So it says, great change is coming to you, but this can only occur if you are willing to shift your your perception. If you may be experiencing resistance to change, but please, I gotta restart. I'm skipping over sentences for some reason. So the message of this card is, great change is coming to you, but this can only occur if you are willing to shift your perception. You may be experiencing resistance to change, but please know that this is simply fear of the new, not intuition. If you are wondering what is the best course of action, the Anunnaki are encouraging you to go with the new. Old systems, old ways of being, and old ways of doing things must be released if you are to evolve. Change can bring a sense of vulnerability, but will allow you to make a deeper connection to your feelings, gifts, and what is important to you. You're standing at a gateway of pure potential that will be ignited as soon as you move through this necessary change. Be open to the new information, new processes, and new ideas. You are part of the new energy upon the earth. Wow, that card I think sums up pretty good what I was trying to say here. Just about, I think you really are like going to bring this in to the 3D world. Bring it in to other people. Yeah, it has very new earthy vibes. Like, these are some of the first steps of like making this what everyone else can see and experience. And then the more people who are able to do this, the easier it becomes for those who would have a harder time of shifting themselves, if that makes sense. I mean, and the card you did get is change, so it is appropriate that these two cards talk so strongly of change. And we see this storm and this lightning going on, and whenever I see lightning in oracle cards, I always just think it means like now. Now's the time to strike. You've been procrastinating, you have had a lot of fear around it, but now you are ready. Now is the time. Everything is working for you. Go now. And it has like this very like momentum behind it, and I like the storm representation with it, because it's like, it's kind of terrifying, but there's just a lot of supportive energy behind you at the same time. So that being said, I think this is all I have for you. This is just a little short reading today. I wish you the best. Believe in yourself. Don't worry about that self-doubt. Everything I see here is that you are connecting to what you think you're connecting to. You have released this karma. Some of you, I should say, are releasing this karmic cycle. It is being cleared as you process through it, go through it, grieve it, feel the elements of it, and come into the new. And that's Toby again, saying goodbye as well. You'll have a good one, and I'll see you around. Hello, pile 2. So the card you chose is Peace. Put her right over here. And we're just going to ask for 6 cards, giving us some clarity around what karmic lessons, what was being activated in you in the ending of this cycle or situation that you are coming from. Oh, your highest good and love and light. What was being activated within you by the ending of it? Oop, I guess we don't want that one. Okay. We have Emerald Tablet Activation, Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, Conscious Manifesting. And Emerald is all about the activating of your heart. So I always think about that when I see Emerald. Higher Heart coming online is what I think of. Oh, look at that. You even got the Higher Heart Activation card. I feel like those two gotta go beside each other. And got some room. I kind of put this one here. Stellar Gateway Activation. Interesting. You know what? I will leave that one upside down. Orion Activation and Shambhala Initiations. Okay. You know what's interesting is you actually have 3 cards that are similar, or the same as pile 1, but I feel like the energy is quite different here. Quite different. And then the other thing I wanted to claim and just mention here is I feel like most karmic cycles that end, or most lessons we've agreed to on some soul level to experience, do usually have the theme of bringing our heart back online and teaching us to follow our hearts, to listen to the guidance, the intuition that comes from the heart. So I think that's really neat. I am curious to see if a heart chakra card will come up in pile 3 now, just to further cement that. But hang on a second. And also the reason we want to keep this in reverse, because I see this as a lesson that is coming in for you to learn, but you haven't stepped into yet. So that's why I'm just leaving it reverse, because it will come in. You're just going through these other stages before you hit this one. Okay, so let's talk next about the card that you selected, so the Peace card. Interesting that came out also with all this heart energy, because in my personal opinion, the easiest way to connect with your heart is to close your eyes and go within and just ask it or connect into what's going on there. The other thing I keep getting though with this card, and sorry, I'm just kind of like scanning through your other cards here. Orion Activation, Renewal, Rebirth by Light. And the thing I think about Orion too is that it's kind of, people usually associate it more with the masculine energy. I don't know if that's true or just like the stigma that we've given it. But I do feel like if you've chosen this pile, I would wonder if you are like, I wonder if you experienced an illness or an accident or something that has literally made you slow down. Way down. I don't know. I could see it being something like maybe you literally broke one of your legs, or you got adrenal fatigue to the point where you're on like medical leave. Like I could feel like it could be anything, but there's something like that. And I feel like the big lesson, so if you're watching this, like, why did this setback happen in my life? I feel like it was a way to slow you way down, and go within, so your more authentic self can come through your. And I want to be careful with that, because I feel like some of you are like, what are you trying to say? I wasn't being me. I don't know. I don't think that's it. But I think because the energy I see in your past here was so busy, like, I don't think you had time to drop in and be like, okay, how's my heart feeling right now? I just don't think that physically was possible with the amount of stuff you had. I feel like workload, mental load, very high for this pile. And I think this is even what might be like the hardest part for you during this time, is just being like, what do I do? I don't usually have this much time. What do I do with it? I don't know how to just be, and I don't know if I like it. So I do feel like you've probably come to the conclusion of maybe you should meditate more or something like that. I feel like that might be words you've said. Maybe I'll take this time to meditate more and journal more, and focus on myself. But at the same time, there's like this shock you're going through, because you just it's such a 180, I think, from what you were doing before, and I feel like it was very sudden, so that's why I feel like it was an accident or something like that. And I shouldn't say sudden, because for some of you, like where it was like adrenal fatigue, or like you just pushed your body too hard, it was like you kind of were like, I need to slow down, but I don't know how I'm ever going to do that, so I'll just keep going, and then it like finally hit you. Whatever happened happened, and now you're in this rest phase. So I'm just trying to see what's going on here for some messages. So yeah, sorry, I'm like, I guess I should answer the first question. The only question I really gave this reading was, why did this happen? What's being activated in you? And definitely your heart energy. Huge connection to your heart, knowing truly what you want for yourself, recentering yourself with like, after you heal, after this injury or whatever this is, this medical leave ends, what is your life going to look like? You're figuring out right now. This is what you're really being activated or called to change. Divine alchemy is all about change, and consciously manifest. So consciously decide what you want your future to look like when you have your energy again, because it is going to come back. This is like a slow down period so that you get recentered, you regroup, you double check, are you living the life you actually want to be living? Are you happy in your life? Are you going to be okay if you go the rest of your life at the same pace you were going? It sounds like due to this injury or illness, or leave that happened, odds are that it probably wasn't honoring all of you. It was either there was just too much going on somewhere, too much stress, too much workload. They keep saying too much workload, too much mental load. You keep using both those words beside each other. So that's definitely a thing. So anyways, this Shambhala initiations, I do wonder. So for some of you, the leave you were on, I think you can still possibly travel, and some of you, travel is just not really an option. But I do feel like, so when I see this person meditating, it's interesting because this Shambhala initiations card talks all about how Shambhala is like a place, I believe it's in Tibet, that you can only get to or access through meditation. So I don't know why I keep getting travel, but I wonder if it just is referring to astral traveling here. Trusting in the process, Dharma, recreating to recharge, which is so interesting. If you're like, what does that even mean, astral travel there? I'm sure there's some guided meditations on YouTube for this, because Shambhala is like pretty popular, pretty well known. We're not talking about the music festival though, if you're from Canada. Don't know if they have them in other places in the world. But sorry, I keep kind of losing, I'm a little spacey, keep losing a little bit of my thought process. And not because I'm thinking anything else, it's like my mind just slowly goes blank. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe some of you are struggling with brain fog, or I just keep getting exhaustion. Like it feels like my brain keeps just forgetting what I'm gonna say because it's tired. I'm not actually feeling tired, but that's what happens to me when I get tired. So I think you're just pretty exhausted. So seems like definitely time to rest, as it was saying here. But anyways, the whole thing of this place, this Shambhala place, is that it teaches you to remember your dharma. So it's interesting because dharma and karma are kind of in the same world, you know, like those are the two in that belief system. They say dharma and karma. So dharma is like doing things out of love, and it's a loving universe, and karma is sort of, I think, what you're experiencing with this lesson, with this feeling stuck, with having to be forced to stop and take that break. So it does feel oddly fitting that you do a meditation where you work with finding your dharma and getting at a karma, because that's even another thing where they say you can live in duality, where there's karmic lessons and there's dharma, or you can choose to believe that everything's done out of love, or you can choose to be in just karma, where everything has consequences, and usually they're kind of negative. So I don't know, I'm kind of rambling here, but I feel like it's like moving out of the karmic world into the dharma world, which feels lighter and better and more loving, and take things less personally. Like getting, like, having to get stopped. Like, it's not like the world hates me, I have horrible, like, I don't know, I just feel like there's just like a lot of like sad, like self-hating, angry thoughts come through. And then it's like, if you see that this was for your highest good, it shifts that anger into like, oh, I needed this so that I could see how I was not even, how I was not really loving my life anymore, how I wasn't really experiencing my life. I was just running to this place, running to the next place, and then to the next place, and then repeating, and then I was always chasing my own tail. That's the kind of energy I get a little bit. So anyways, take this as it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it. But yeah, I feel like that seems like a big advice thing going on. However, so the actual vibe with the Orion activation is all about, and it even makes sense if you're going through a harder lesson, is they're pretty growth forward. So if it's like, if you needed to have a hard lesson to learn a higher lesson, I find that Orion energy usually is associated with that, like, your soul being like, okay, if this is what it takes, then that's what it'll do if I need to get to that lesson. So I just feel like this is a confirmation that this is a harder place that you're in right now. It is a harder place. Don't beat yourself up about this. This is hard. This is shocking. This is taking you out of routine. It makes you feel completely out of control. And all of that is intentional for your growth, for this hard activation. I don't know. I wish I could transmit like what I'm seeing into you all your heads, so you can understand how I'm seeing this, as they're like saying, like, you weren't gonna stop doing this cycle you were in, so you needed a hard stop to see it, and it actually is gonna be so much. It's gonna get you back in your life. But then some of you are like, I was in my life. I was doing so much. You were doing so much, but I think you're so tired. They just keep saying it was lacking presence, lacking heart. So, I just feel like you get to decide now what that looks like with this rest period. I almost said time off. So I really do feel like there is like you had to like medically be discharged or medically leave your job for a little bit. Yeah, and you know what? If you're just like Orion activation card, why? You can even do a meditation on Orion beings and be like, why did I choose to learn this lesson in this way? And that, I think, will be very potent for this pile, because then you will see how I am seeing it, if that makes sense. So what would this look like? I would choose, like, if I were you and I wanted to connect with this energy to see why this had to happen in this way, I would find shamanic drumming, or I probably would use shamanic drumming music that maybe has some other sounds, like nature sounds in it. I'd put headphones on. I'd write down an intention. So I would say, in my highest good in love and light, or in the highest good of all in love and light, Orion beings, why did I choose to learn this lesson in this way, or something like that, all in your highest good, love and light, always. And then you just make a direct question, and I'd write that down, then I'd close my eyes, and I would just be okay with sitting there listening to that drumming for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and whatever I feel, see, know, or sense, I would take as my answer. The first time that might be a little bit hard to just trust that, but that's ultimately how you get like really good deep knowings around things, I find, is if you go in yourself and just ask the question. And I think that'll give you some clarity. But I do feel like this might take a couple of times, because you might not trust yourself to get it the first time. Even though you are getting it. Even though you are getting the right answer the first time. So, Stellar Gateway Activation, Infinite Potential Manifestation Vortex. So I love this. for this pile here, because look at all the similar colors here. So I just keep getting this as further confirmation that I think you're gonna learn how to meditate better. So you're watching this particular reading, I feel like you probably meditate, or maybe you've been intimidated by meditation, but you're gonna get into it for sure. You have the time now. I believe in you. I know you're gonna do this if you want to. You seem committed to it. Your energy seems committed to it. It also seems like part of your lesson. So anyways, I do see you meditating, finding inner peace, inner connection, reconnecting with that dharma of yours, that like what drives you, what that authentic self, that thing that makes you excited, why do you want to be here, energy. And I feel like with that, your manifestation vortex, like just I feel like you see how limitless you are. Like, does that make sense? Like, I feel like right now you've been so constrained, in the past you've been so constrained by time, and I feel like through this meditation routine, you're going to see you are not as restrained and restricted to what you can and can't do, and because you will find that time. It's like you'll reprioritize what you want, and you will have that time, if that makes sense. And then also just with this coming in next, I think you are going to get like better at meditating. Like, I feel like, I know it's like a weird thing to say, but I think maybe you're just still quite intimidated by it. And with that whole trust thing, like maybe you don't trust that you would get the answer, that maybe you need to listen to pick a card for that, or you need to see an intuitive, maybe call them psychics, I'm not really sure, to get the answers. But you're very capable of it, and I actually think it's in your future here, from what I can see, to learn to get those answers yourself. Yeah. So anyways, so this card that's coming in that hasn't fully come in yet, it says new information, end of a cycle, and energetic shifts. So I like this because I think right now you are still grieving, which is healthy. The shock of it all, of this like sudden halt, this loss of being able to do what you used to do. But once you finish that sort of grieving and processing of this, what comes in is a new cycle, which means just, I don't know, I love this. I love it because it means you're not being stuck in a pattern chasing your own tail. You're getting out, and you're finding new ways. You're moving into something different, and usually when you move into something different, it's lighter, it's more fulfilling, it's happier, and I feel that for you. Okay, pile twos. I think this might be all I have for you. I'm just thinking, should I read a card for you? Would you like me to read you a card? Maybe I'll read you this one. So interesting. I feel like everyone in this pile wants it. I feel like some of you want me to read this one. Some of you want me to read this one. I think I'll read this one. I think I will. Because I think that this is like a really important energy for you. Okay. And if you have this deck at home, you can read all of them in your guidebook if you like. Okay, so Shambhala and Initiations. It says, when things quiet down in your life, know that this isn't a failure, but an opportunity to retreat and recharge. In the busyness of the physical world, our spirit is often playing catch up with our body to the point that it gets used to being overactive and overworked. When the great masters of Shambhala come to you, they are encouraging you to take time to be away from the outer world and dive into the inner world. If you have been moving full speed ahead, this gateway encourages you to slow down and retreat. Take time to gather your energy. Spend time in meditation and reflection in order to gain a clearer awareness of your current situation. You will uncover many insights and gifts during this period. Realize that there is a master awakening within. Okay, I'm sorry. I will read this one because I feel like someone is like, please just read it. So, oh, look at that. I just even perfectly turned to that page. It was divine. Okay, so this higher heart activation card, which is also a very big theme for you, says you have experienced much fear, separation, and heartache in your lifetime. This has encouraged you to close off and shield yourself from possible hurt. For a long time, you've been trying to open yourself back up, but have been concerned about being far too vulnerable. This card shows you have realized that love isn't something you have to work for or search for, but your divine inheritance. You have also recognized that this energy isn't something that comes through relationships or external experiences, but it is your natural state of being. The more you close off from your true self. The more you drop your shields, the more love is revealed. The more you express the love you are, the more it is reflected back at you. Love is your truth. All right. Okay, the readings, I guess, are just a little bit shorter today. So I wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry. I feel like I don't know all your situations, but just the energy I get is that it didn't happen in a way that I think a lot of you would really like. Like it seems like hard lessons. It seems like hard lessons to learn. So I'm sorry that you were in this place, but I do see that it was to activate you and reconnect you and recenter you and get you to change directions from the direction you were headed. And I almost wonder if there's other small little, like I do feel like that was it. Like there was other little small things that came up that gave you the opportunity to change directions, but I don't think they worked. So then I think you got hit with a big thing. So like a health issue of some sort, exhaustion, something like that, end of a job, and now you have nothing to do but listen. And it was very intentional that be what happened. Okay, listening to your body. You should be clear about that. Listening to your body, listening to your heart. Okay, anyways, this is all I have for you, Pile 2. Wishing you the best, and I hope you have a good day or night, whatever it is for you. Hello, Pile 3. So you all chose the Will card. And it has like a woman hiding her face and she's wearing a mask. Such an interesting card to me. I don't really understand it, and it makes me think so much of the Divine Circus deck, the Divine Circus deck from Alana Fairchild. That's what I keep thinking here. I think it's the hair and this white thing for sure. This little white toupee thing. I don't know. It's not a toupee. Whatever that white frilly thing is really makes me think of the Lana Fairchild Circus deck. Maybe you have that. Maybe like reading it. Maybe you just pulled a card from one or something. But I don't know. I keep thinking about it. Anyways, I feel like I need to clear this deck quick here. Give me a second. Okay, we're back. I just felt like there was like lingering energies. Okay, interesting that I am now saying 2 words weird since tuning into this pile. Don't know if it's something you do sometimes or you're doing right now. Who knows? We'll see if it continues. Okay. Oh, I was just about to yawn now. What's happening? I was just going to say, I don't know why you're mispronouncing words. I think you're quite tired. So, I actually can't help but wonder, I keep thinking of night owl energy with this card. I wonder if whenever you're watching this, it is seriously late at night or early morning. Yeah, and I get kind of an energy confused, which is interesting because I mean, the Will card, I just had no idea where it was going with the Will. But I do feel like there's some night owl energy, not sleeping right. The mask and she's hiding. Why is she hiding? I don't know why she's hiding. Okay, we're gonna pull some cards because I need to get more energy here because I'm just getting more confused and I'm like looping on the same details, which might be something you're doing. Maybe that's why you're staying up late at night, is you're overthinking all these small details, logicking it out, not feeling it out, it's keeping you up, keeping you restless. So anyways, whatever situation you're getting out of, Pile 3, what is the karmic lessons? Like, what was being activated in you? Why did it happen? All in your highest good, in love and light. And interesting enough, I also feel like I need to ask your guides, to make sure it's their messages coming through. Yeah, interesting. I think you're really battling your ego here, or your shadow. So what does that mean? Like, as I'm pulling these cards, I'm like asking for some cards to come up, and I feel like I hear like this, like, I shouldn't say hear, I feel like some ego coming through and being like, it was because of this, it was because of this. And I think this is like the thing that's keeping you up at night or in the morning, in any hours of the day, night, really, is this part of you that's like, this is why this had to have happened. It's like coming from a place of fear. And we're gonna look at that because well, it's so funny. As I'm saying this, it's like some of you are already like clicking off, like, I don't want to hear this. Which I'm not gonna say you're a bad person, okay? I gotta say that. And there's nothing. I'm just trying to bring into your awareness and explain what I'm seeing. So this, what I see coming up fear-wise or ego-wise or shadow-wise, and I'm sorry, I feel like you don't like the word ego. We'll say shadow, like fear. Fear is better, I think. I think you also didn't like the other word. Okay, fear. It seems triggering to you because you're worried about acting selfishly. This is interesting. This is super specific already. Okay. And sorry, I feel like there's just so much. It says so much. I can see why you're not sleeping very good. It's almost like I keep pausing to hear, and it's like, oh, that is a lot going on that it's telling you. So it's like subconscious fear, and it's all rooted around this aspect of you, this like little person version. Like this is definitely deep old wounding from childhood for sure. In the subconscious coming out, and it's like it's so scared that oh my gosh, I had it this whole time, and then it's like I went to say it and it blanked it out of my mind. So yeah, this is a big thing. This is something that your fear is so scared of. It doesn't even, like it's scared that I'm gonna pull the card for you that will clarify. Well, so let me rephrase that. It's like it's scared that its fears are true, but they're not true. Okay, that's what I need to say. Its fears are not true, and it's scared that if it doesn't influence the cards, then a truth it doesn't want to see will come through. And I want to be very clear, this feels like that inner child wounding, that deep-seated inner child wounding. And funny enough, just split the deck. Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. To me, this is just like the ultimate inner child wounding card, not fitting in with your family of origin, being more sensitive or emotional than was allowed for in the family of origin, and trying to basically hide that aspect of yourself or an aspect of yourself so you can be accepted. So it is interesting. That is exactly, thank you, Spirit, for this, for this card. Because Lemurian seed codes, doesn't that sound like a great card? It seems like a great thing. So it just goes to show, like, it's just like our family of origins didn't appreciate us for that, like that beautiful rainbow of emotion and of personality we have. I don't know. Sorry, I'm going to change my battery real quick. It's doing this thing where it jumped down to 2 bars, and sometimes when it jumps down to 2 bars, it just dies randomly. So, and then it erases all the video. So give me a second here. I'm just going to change it and be safe. Okay. Sorry about that. Just wanted to take some precautions. And yeah, and sorry, I just want to apologize. As soon as I walked away, it's like, you know, I'm not trying to tell you how you feel or anything. It's like, how do I put it? When I'm tuning into a group's energy, it's almost like when I'm talking, I'm just responding to the pull away or pull back or the lean in that I get from the energy. So when I was saying you don't like that word, sorry, it was more so like that aspect of you like shied away, like got more triggered, more upset when I use certain words. So I'm not saying that that is a normal thing that like normally bothers you. It's just as I was like saying it, I realized that was a word that was not, that was just inducing more worry from this aspect of you. It's not even all of you, it's just a little aspect. Which is, I even think why I keep getting this card. I think this aspect is just like, oof. It needs some healing. It needs some healing and loving from you, because I just feel like it's like done a really good job at like hiding and evading your attention. So I want to be clear here when I say I think it's done a really good job at like hiding itself from you. Like I think when you go within yourself in meditation, or like if you're just even thinking what's going on within yourself, I think this aspect of you has done a very good job at learning like where to hide. And like I feel like it almost like spits out like a false believable reason, instead of being like, it's like so scared for you to see that it's like this very sensitive part of yourself that has a fear, which every time like I have it and then as soon as I go to say it, it takes it away from me. I think that's exactly what it does to you. Like you feel like you got your finger on it and then it like evades you, which is definitely a safety defense mechanism. But this is so old. Like when I see this aspect of this group, I feel like I'm looking at like a little 6-year-old or something, maybe an 8-year-old, I don't know, 6 to 8. And I do feel like they're like wearing dress-up clothes and they're hiding, you know, like how kids hide really badly. Really badly, right in the middle of nowhere, but they have a cape on so they think they're invisible, and then you go to look at them and then they run away to a different spot, and it's like you can keep almost catching them, but then they just run away again, which sounds super frustrating. So why is this coming up in this reading, I wonder? Let's actually just pull some cards. And I'm like determined to remember what that fear is before it blanks it out of my mind. So I'm gonna try to catch that one. I think I can't tell. Like I keep wanting to say, is it a fear of not being lovable or not fear of being good enough? It's one of those two. It might even be both, and they're kind of wrapped in and tangled with each other. Because you'd think it'd be a fear of being seen with all this dicey hidingness, like this little kid basically running around like a fake superhero and hiding behind things. But I think it's maybe it's a fear of being seen as vulnerable and having these fears of not being lovable or not being good enough to be loved. Okay, I think we're getting closer there. I feel like there's a secondary fear, of like having this fear, which is why this aspect of you is doing such a very proactive job of like hiding from you, which I just feel like must be so annoying for you. Like I feel like I'm like trying to pinpoint it, and here it's keeping you up at night. It's like, you know, it seems frustrating, but I do feel like it's like it needs like extreme compassion from you and extreme unconditional love, because this, like I keep tuning in and this is definitely a super old energy for you all, which is even probably why it's so hard for you to like see it too, because you're like, what? Like how many of us can actually remember 6-year-old us, right? Or 7, 8-year-old us. Okay, so I didn't even really ask a question. I just started pulling cards, and we'll see what answer I got for you. Okay. Look at that. You know what's so interesting? This Holy Grail card. I was just flipping through this deck, and I was like, I don't know why, I feel like someone's gonna get this Holy Grail card. This is for sure gonna come through. I didn't get any message around it other than like, it's gonna come through. It's gonna come through. For sure it's gonna come through. Interesting. And if you keep getting like divine union, but it's talking about what's holding you back from divine union, which is interesting. We'll get into it more. I'll stop saying the word just interesting. I feel like there's so many rabbit holes you can go in with your energy. So I keep wondering if ooh, this is interesting too. Okay. I feel like every time I say that, you're like, why do you keep saying interesting? What is going on? It's just humans and how we all are. I actually truly do find very interesting, because it's like so much goes on in that one thought. There's the best word I can think of in English to explain it is interesting. I'm not judging it. I think that's what's tricky, is like, maybe some of you are like, is it bad or good? And I'm like, no, it actually is just really interesting to see that it makes sense why this is happening. It makes sense why you're experiencing this, because it's telling me this influenced that, which influenced that, which caused this behavior, and then this is where we're at. It's just very interesting. It all makes sense. Okay. And there's a lot going on in your cards, by the way. I almost feel like I need to take a second to just even know where to start here. This card here, I don't know if you watched any of the other piles. I don't think there's a message for you there. You take it or leave it as you will. But I don't know if you just had fallen asleep and this YouTube pick a card reading as you woke up was playing. If this is you, and maybe you woke up before and you heard me say something about the Orion card, I think that one message was for you. Just that one message. You don't think anything else in the other piles has the same energy. But the Orion activation card is saying how... Sorry, I always pause just to double check before I say a statement like this. I'm not getting anything, so I think we're good. When I see this Orion activation card, I actually see how it's always associated with masculine energy, and actually kind of like aggressive masculine energy. So not like the healthy, nice container holding type, but more so like war and aggression kind of masculine energy, which is a false narrative of this Orion place. You know, they're not actually all about that, but we perceive it to be. Not all everyone, but I feel like that's just a stigma they have. And it could be because this constellation, I think, is a hunter or something, right? Orion has like his belt and he has a sword. So it kind of makes sense that we associate it with battling and aggression. But they're actually all about ascension. But the thing that is interesting about why I'm being so drawn to share that about the, like I keep getting the false illusion of masculinity. That's what I keep being told here. So I feel like it's an aspect of you that has been wounded. This 6 to 8 year old who is scared of being vulnerable, or is scared about scared. It's like such a long sentence to say. This aspect of you to whom I'm perceiving, or I think the wounding is being scared that they are not lovable because they are vulnerable and they are emotional, and therefore are not good enough. There we go. It is that is a false belief. I have to disclaim that this is a false belief. This is a limiting belief. This is an inner child wounding. This is not a real thing, but you experience it as a real thing because it's real to this little person who is an aspect of you, who is running around in your subconscious very, very well. He's getting around. I want to say he for some reason. I see a little boy, but maybe it's because of like it being like wounded by this masculine energy. So the other thing, double meaning with this Holy Grail card here, it doesn't mean you have to come from religious upbringing, but I do feel a strong tie between this Orion, this false narrative of what a healthy masculine energy looks like, directly tied with a religious upbringing. Or like it could be like maybe it was a very extremely spiritual religious upbringing. I don't know. I keep getting that. Like I'm like maybe it wasn't religious, maybe it was spiritual, but like whatever it was not. How do we even word that? It portrayed the masculine energy having to be one way. So it doesn't mean that you have to be male if you are watching this. I do feel like it just taught whoever you are that the masculine energy was this, which would even lead to some unhealthy relationships, especially romantic relationships. And that's the other thing I'm getting with this Holy Grail card. It says inner discovery, finding sacredness, you are what you seek. Oh, wow, I just feel like I got so much more information here, just even with reading those words. I keep seeing the 2 rings as divine union within yourself of the masculine and the feminine, realizing that you are both. You are both masculine and feminine. You are equally both. When you are in balance, you operate out of both places, and you even operate in a place where they can work together at the same time. And that is like the greatest harmony, the best place to create. You know, that is when you're most in your power, is when you're working with both those energies at once and honoring them both for their strengths and weaknesses even. Like, it's just such a yin yang thing. And then I also feel like the other messages I'm getting here around divine union in the sense of a romantic partnership is that, even like it says, you are what you seek. I think maybe you've been seeking out people. So if you just come from a relationship where it didn't get you what you wanted, like whatever happened there, it didn't serve you in the way you wanted it to, I just feel like it's saying like you were looking outside of yourself. Sorry, I'm just asking. I think it's for, I wanted to say validation, but I'm like, I don't know where that's coming from. So I don't know, take it if it resonates. This might just be super specific. You might have been looking for outside of yourself for validation. But you just need to validate. It's not quite the right word back that way. It's like you just need to love and know you're good enough instead of looking outside of yourself in these partnerships for them to constantly tell you that you're lovable and good enough, because you need to know that you are lovable and good enough. Does that make sense? And of course, there's nothing wrong with having someone who does tell you and remind you and cherish you. But I feel like what I'm getting from this card, and once again, take it or leave it, is that there is this deep wounding where you didn't feel lovable for how you were because of something in your upbringing. I believe it was religious, taught you that how you are in the world wasn't okay. And if you are not a male and you're watching this and you're like, I don't understand why the masculine energy would have been so hurtful for me, I just wonder if you even just were told like there's double meaning here. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of men watching this pile and they were just got told this is how you need to be a man in the world. And I see why that was super, super unhealthy for you and super traumatizing. And then if you were a female watching this, I feel like that servitude energy is coming through where it's like submissive, where you must hide a bit of yourself for this person, for this masculine energy, so that they can shine. I don't know if that's super specific, but I keep kind of seeing that. But it all comes from, this wounding all comes from an unhealthy representation of the masculine energy. But I do just see it's so tied to religious principles and upbringing. So this card is just full of messages alone. Just, I feel like you could just tune into the energy of this and you would get so much information and insights just by looking at this card. So inner discovery. So that's a big thing. So everything I'm saying seems kind of heavy. I'm so sorry. But I feel like I need to get clear on what I'm seeing. So one, you need to know this is your reading. And two, so you can understand why I'm even saying what I'm saying. Because the third eye activation. So the thing, why I just want to mention the thing that's being reversed. So if you're still not quite seeing this, it tells me you're going to. If you're still unclear about this situation, why it had to go down the way it did, or why it happened the way it did, you are in this other activation already. And it just, like, you know how I was explaining at the start, like this version of you is just very, very much not wanting to be seen. It doesn't want anyone to know it's there. It doesn't want you to look at it. It doesn't want anyone else to see it. And I think that is why this third eye chakra card is kind of in the reverse. It's like it's taking the longest to be activated because the greatest fear is anyone seeing this aspect of you, seeing this part of you, including yourself. So it will come through, though. It will come through, and this will all click. You will see it. You will see it. You will see this aspect of you. I don't know what's going to happen. That happens for you. But it will. Okay, I think the Merkaba will have something to do with it. But okay, anyways, we're going to keep going in order here. We have, yeah, I'm going to move away from this, but I feel like inner discovery is definitely like the phase you're in. Going deeper, understanding yourself deeper and deeper. And I think the more you do that, the easier it will be to see this aspect of you that's kind of dodging your views. I feel like that's the best way to put it. Playing hide and seek with you, still altering a lot of your subconscious decisions. But I think I want to be very clear. You're for sure going to get to this. For sure. This is actually even why you're going through all this, is so you can get here. Some of you will be faster and some of you will take a little bit longer, but the end, you will get there. So inner discovery, finding sacredness, you are what you seek, learning to find that self-value within yourself, and knowing you're good enough, knowing you're lovable, knowing it's okay for you to be both masculine and feminine and emotional and vulnerable and sensitive and not perfect, and you're just lovable for that, and not needing anyone else to validate and confirm that outside of you again and again and again, because you need it. You need it. It's not because it's nice. I feel like the energy is coming from is you need it to know you are valuable. But you need to just know that you are valuable. You don't need other people to keep reminding you that, because it's almost like how I see it is like, if people don't say it, then you actually think you aren't. And that's the thing that's not good, because that's not true. You are valuable and lovable. Okay, and cherished. And so Gaia Gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. Interesting. Definitely, I feel like you probably must have been doing stuff outside of some sort, but who knows. You might really come into a phase now where you're like really valuing your connection with earth, with your feet on the ground or on the grass, touching a tree, being in the rain when it's safe for you to be in the rain. It's not going to get you a cold or something. But I do, or water, rivers, traveling in rivers. I don't know, that's very specific for someone. Maybe you want to kayak or canoe in a river. I'm not sure. But I do feel like you're just really learning to appreciate that. And I feel like there's like this slow down energy. So maybe before you were always just like rushing. Maybe you were doing something outside that was like, it was an activity, but it wasn't really slowing yourself down and being in tune with the earth. It was more like just going and going and going. So this feels like something that's been activated in you. I feel like this is something that's going to continue to be important for you, is connecting in with the earth around you, the nature, the leaves, the trees, the water, all those things. Our friend Orion, we were kind of talking about. So the thing that comes in though with this is Orion. Orion beings are all about activations, change, and the thing that is correct about them is they will take you down dramatic change, sometimes in a way that you don't like, if your soul is like, I want to learn this lesson. And if I don't learn it in all these smaller things, here's my big thing, push me, and I want to learn it, because if this is what it takes, then this is what it takes. So when I see this card come out, I feel like it's huge soul lesson, and this makes sense with this, like this aspect of you that I'm seeing, that you want to get to the bottom to, because I feel like it is holding you back in areas of your life that you're just ready to not be held back in. You're just ready for that. That's what I want to keep saying, and I keep seeing a banana on this person's head. I don't know. Maybe you really like bananas. I don't even know what bananas mean. I keep thinking of how they're fertilized. We learned that they were fertilized sometimes with human poop. I don't know. I don't know why that's coming through. I don't know what any of this means. But anyways, I'm going to move on past that. I don't get it. Supernova. So anyways, this does mean immense change and shifts are happening in your life. Immense shifts and change. Chaos probably happened. It isn't like, I really want to make sure that we don't say like Orion beings are a cause of this, but I feel like they're so about us learning how to transcend our limits, that it's like, this tells me that there was a lot of little opportunities for you and it just didn't work, and boom, you needed the big bomb or the big thing to get there. So you're currently in that, which is probably why you're watching this reading, because your life probably feels a little chaotic and you're just like, what is going on? a lot. you're, you're being forced to learn a lesson that is hard to learn. So have compassion for yourself. Be gentle on yourself. This is really what this card is saying. Renewal, rebirth, and it is going to come into something better. You're not going to go further down in the hole. You're going to rise above it and learn it at some point. Memories of Atlantis. Spiritual acceleration, progress, technology. Yeah, so this is kind of what I'm getting to. I feel like, and with the soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm getting kind of, there's just, like I said, there really is a lot going on in your energy. So, in this reading, the soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are, I really do want to say, like, this does feel soul contracty. So once again, I don't know exactly how your life kind of got chaotic or shit went a bit crazy for you or things went weird. I imagine there's some stress or tension in your family relationships right now, specifically like your origin family, I feel like would be a common denominator for anyone who chose this pile. Probably your romantic relationships changed a lot. It wouldn't be surprised if your work is changing. Like, this just feels like the mother load of change. But you take it or leave it. Maybe even your health changed. I'm not sure. But I definitely feel like family, career, and romantic partnerships are all different or becoming different or, yeah, I don't know, changing in some way. But I do feel like confirmation for you was this was part of a soul contract. There's some karmic stuff going on here. There is, like, everything that's happening is to remind you and reconnect you with, and of course the Merkaba is coming out again. Got a little Merkaba thing here that I felt like I had to put in for this reading, and the Merkaba's come up a lot about activating you, reconnecting you to all aspects of you. All aspects of you. So however you were living before, I don't think it allowed for you to have all of you present, to be all of yourself, your true self, your heart-centered, authentic, true you all the time. And that is part of this chaotic change, is putting you in this energy where you can become and remember who you are. And I think for some of you, you might not even totally know what that version of you looks like, but you were learning it, and I think that's even what adds to the chaos for you that you're experiencing, which I'm so sorry for, but it is contracted. You are going to remember who you are, and I do feel like meditation is so important for this pile as well. All the piles, it's been a big message, is meditation, going within, inner discovery, not looking outside of yourself, going within to get the answers that you're looking for, connecting with that heart energy of yours. Interesting. This pile didn't get a higher heart card. Every other pile did. Interesting. As I'm asking that, I feel like for you, the bigger thing is your self-value and confidence. Yeah, I'm not getting an answer why the heart didn't. I'm just getting that your focus is, and the lesson is around your self-worth and your value and how you perceive your value. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. Your perceived value. I feel like I have to keep repeating this because I feel like some people here are like so tired from your lack of sleep that you might be like accidentally blooping out of what I'm saying. So I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm so sorry. It's just because Spirit is being very I was going to say advocate. I don't know what I was just about to say. Adamant. There we go. On repeating this, your focus right now is on working on your value, your perceived value of yourself, and your self-worth. Because that is what's blocking you. That is what makes you look outside of yourself for people who can tell you again and again, you matter, you're valuable. But the thing that gets scary for me I shouldn't say that. What makes me nervous for this pile is that you feel like when your support person, your family member, this romantic partner, your friend, gets busy in their life and they don't have time to, or they just don't think to say to you, you're so valuable, you're worth so much. I love you so much. I cherish you. I'm so grateful for you. That this would maybe make you think that they did not, that they do not care about you, that you have no value for them, that you have no value in life because no one's telling you that. So I don't know if that happens to you. Only you will know that. But I would worry that that is something that happens because I feel like you need the verbal validation to know that you are valuable. But that's why this coming up for your main focus is knowing that you just are, and not needing these other people, because these other people I keep seeing have their own shadow attributes that they're dealing with, and they just like, they don't realize that you're needing it for this reason. So they're not trying to withhold love from you. They're not trying to withhold what you need. They actually don't see that if they don't say it, you don't think you are worth it. You don't have it. Does that make sense? Anyways, if you've had that pattern in your relationships, then this is your confirmation. If you are like, I don't know what you're talking about, then maybe just think, have I had weird dynamics? What happened? Is this what I felt like? If not, just leave it. But it might just bring a little bit of awareness to you about what's going on. Oh, look at that! I don't know why I was like, I gotta like half this deck. And look at that. We have the higher heart activation. Okay. Awesome. You're like, why does that matter? I was just saying, if we're learning karmic lessons, it usually always brings us to being our authentic selves and coming to listen to our heart. So I'm a little confused you didn't get a card for that, but don't worry, I have the deck and it gave me this card for you. So you are still coming to your authentic self. But they're, yeah, like as Spirit said, they're just so focused. Your big lesson here is you're realizing your own value and worth, okay? So it's not so much that your heart isn't on, it's more so your value for yourself is just not there. That 6 to 8 year old energy keeps circling back in. So memories of Atlantis, spiritual acceleration, progress and technology. I do feel like you're having a lot of remembrances of past lives right now. Interesting. Sorry, I just paused. So once again, some of these things are very specific today in these piles. So sometimes I wonder when I do a little reading like this, if this is just going to be a handful of people for each pile. I mean, with the size of my channel, it's very possible that each pile only gets one view, you know, or maybe only gets like 5 views for this pile, and then that would make sense how it can be so specific. I don't know. Or a lot of people are going through the same energy, which in that case, I'm sorry, there's so many out there that are going through this. But for this memories of Atlantis and spiritual acceleration, I was just thinking about past lives, and I wonder if right now, just because I feel like you're in this tumultuous. I don't know. I swear I wasn't struggling with my words and still came to this pile. Tumultuous. I think that's how you say that word, but now I'm thinking too hard on it. Basically, some relationships that have a lot of turmoil in them. Change how I'm conjugating that verb, or that word. I think you might be finding yourself interacting with a lot of karmic past life people right now. So what does that mean? Maybe you're feeling very drawn to people, friends, I don't know, acquaintances. I don't even feel like they're friends. I feel like they're too fresh. Acquaintances, romantic interests, bosses? No, I think it's mainly... Okay, sorry, my camera paused itself, but I think I literally looked up right when I did it. So I'll just hope that everything was caught up there. I was just trying to say, I don't know if this part got caught on camera or not, but I was just saying, I'm really sorry. There is a lot of chaos going on for you right now. If you feel overwhelmed, and like there really is. There really, really is. It's so interesting. I wonder if you're doing like, you're seeing practitioners for past life readings, or like just like guidance on what's going on right now, because there's just a lot going on in your energy. And I could even see like one reader picking up on one strain and then another reader picking up on another direction strain. Like there's just a lot. And I almost feel like you would almost need to focus on different things that are going on to really like get details on that one thing, if that makes sense to you guys, to this pile. But memories of Atlantis, yeah, sorry, I keep repeating that because I keep trying to redirect my thoughts on which energy thing going on for you I'm trying to tune into. Do you wonder... sorry, I don't even want to say it because I'm like, there's so much karmic shit going on for you. I'm so sorry. I just want to keep saying that. I'm so sorry. There's just a lot of shitty karmic things coming up. And which will end, which they will end. I almost wonder if you're in a time in your life where you're like, I want to clear my karmic slate. Like, that's almost like what I would be wondering. Like, there's just so much little stuff coming up where it's like, why did you need to have that little hindrance there? Like, was that really necessary? And they're like, yes, it was. You wanted to clear that karma there. So I actually think, even with this Holy Grail card, where there's like an overflow of kind of like shit going down, I almost feel like for some reason you decided to get it all out in like one phase. So I guess good on you. Your soul just wants to power through that. And then it's going to come out like better. Like, that is the thing I do want to say. Like, don't be hopeless. Here, it's going to be a lot of chaos. I think there's still going to be a lot of chaos for a little while. You'll come into this third eye activation where it'll come upright and you'll see things more clearly. And that's when things are going to start smoothing out a lot more. But like I said, I almost wonder if it's going to keep happening until this third eye is activated. You're going to be clearing a lot of karma. And then you'll come into new energy, the rebirth energy, the more harmony, balance energy. You're not going to be in this chaos forever, but there is just like this weird agreement I keep picking up on where it's like your soul just thought it'd be a good time to clear a lot of karma. That's what I keep seeing. Oh, sorry. Oh, it just like makes me cringe when it's like, why so much chaos? Like I said, some of it's different. It's just like, I almost feel for you where it's like, why in your love life? Why in your family life? Why in your career? Like, why? My human me is just like, why did this need to be all so sudden? I don't like, I'm sorry. I keep saying that because I just keep tuning back into it. I'm like, oh, that's hard. Okay, so memories of Atlantis. We're just trying to say this. So yeah, I would wonder if you are having interactions right now that feel very intense. Brief, short connections that feel very, very tense. They are like, I think because you are kind of in this energy of like you're recognizing them from past lives. You're also recognizing them because they have karmic lessons to teach you. Sorry, it just makes me cringe every time I have to say that to you. I'm like, sorry. Yeah, there's another karmic lesson coming. I don't know what it is. It's different for everyone, but I know there's no way. There's some of these people you just can't resist. That's the energy I'm getting. You can't resist them because there's a karmic lesson to play out with them. Positive note though, I feel like for this I want to say on positive note, I think you're gonna be out of this chaos. I think it's 6 months to a year is the cycle I'm seeing for it. So I don't know how long you've been in it for, but I think 6 months is the more normal amount. And there'll be moments of like peace in it, but I'm so sorry. You know what? Maybe you should see an astrologer. I would, if you have the finances right now, pile 3, I would recommend seeing an astrologer because this level of shit is like predestined for sure. Everything is feeling so predestined, which is why it makes me cringe so much because I'm like, can you do this and like get out of it? And it's like, you can move through it smoother. That's definitely an option, but like there is some degree of going through it that it was destined for you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just keep saying that. Just astrologer. I think an astrologer will help you move through it. Yeah, yes. Okay. That's my guidance here is see an astrologer. So it's as least chaotic as possible. And then I really want to read this card for you. I'm like, I gotta read this. This card I feel like is gonna have some answers for both of us here. Okay, so I'll read all of it for you. I think you deserve that. You've got a lot going on. We have will. Decisions require action. You are in control of your own decisions in life. No one else's. Passion and will determine a great proportion of your success. You will persist. You possess free will, which means you should focus on yourself first and avoid placing your will over another's. So, it has a little affirmation for you. I have the will to make the changes I need. I have the will to make the changes I need. And that's why I guess it says will on the card. Yeah, that could be a great affirmation because it feels like there's a lot, and even like I feel like overloaded, and I can only imagine that that's a little bit of how you're feeling right now with just like all the stuff going on and all the change. So just, I even feel like believing in yourself, believing that you can get through this and that you are gonna flourish through this, and you can do it on your own. You can do this on your own. It's kind of the lesson is that you can do this on your own and grow within yourself. Okay. Doesn't mean you can't have other support systems, but it's just like that's the big lesson is knowing you don't need other people to be valuable. You are valuable. Okay. Rest of this says will in quotes feels like a very old-fashioned concept. In a modern world where it seems like everything is geared up to be as easy as possible, where there is always someone else to blame, the idea of placing our personal will persistently into something seems quaint. When we decide we are going to change something in our lives, let's say a particularly negative pattern or bad habit, breaking the old way we do things can be difficult. The change requires a concentration of our will. We may want the change, but it is our will that insists we stay on the path to that change. To be willful means we have the power of control over our own actions, and that will fires up the persistence we need to get what we want. Contrary to popular belief in witchcraft traditions, practitioners do not interfere with another's free will. This means we do not cast spells upon people to influence their behavior. How do we get what we want instead? We cast ourselves in line with our will, focusing carefully on what we would like in our lives instead. For example, instead of casting a spell to get back our ex-boyfriend, who doesn't want us by influencing his will to love us again, we more ethically cast upon ourselves for our ideal partner. This way, we don't interfere with his free will, and if the ex is our ideal partner, he will return to us freely. If not, we have attracted someone new and better for us. Either way, it's a win-win. To us, our will sorry, I have a hard time saying will word and have it make sense in the sentence. To use our will productively, we should access what we really want and make sure this is what we want to reach for. And then recommends carrying hematite, the stone, which is interesting because that is great for staying grounded in clearings. So yeah, and also if you're around a lot of computers and stuff, I think hematite is shungite, sorry. I think that's shungite. I was just mistaking it for. Take that last statement back. Okay, so pile threes. I'm so sorry. You got a lot of stuff going on for you. You've had a lot of stuff go on for you for a long time in your past, and I'm sorry, but I do feel like with this Orion card coming in and this Holy Grail card coming in, like when I see this Holy Grail, I feel like you are gonna reach this. I know it seems chaotic and karmic and a lot of unideal things, and you can't quite understand why all is happening the way it is. But I feel like I even wonder if this pile really wants like a divine union that is balanced. Like I think that is going to come in at the end of all this. I think your value of yourself and your ability to know your worth is going to come in. Like I actually see this kind of as the ultimate card for this whole reading. Like I said, I don't know if you're into meditation, maybe even screenshot a picture of this right now and you just even do a meditation into this card, because this card has so many answers for you. The Holy Grail, inner discovery, finding sacredness. You are what you seek. You are what you seek. I almost feel like that could be a mantra for you too. Inner discovery, you are what you seek, or I am what I seek. Yes, I can't, like there's so much importance that comes whenever I see that word on that card for you. Okay, anywho, let's clear the energy for you. The least I can do, right? The least I can do to help you out a little. If you have headphones on, you might want to turn them down a little bit, and I'm just gonna ding this 3 times, and my intention for you is just to clear any of those sort of little worries that might have just come up a little bit more because of everything that was said, and yeah, ground you a little bit more. Okay. shake it off. I don't know, some of you feel like you're shaking a little bit. That's why I feel like you really got to shake off some of these worries. Self-doubts. Shake them off. Maybe some of you need to go dance them off. But sorry, just the last thing I was saying is if some of you have ever heard of like there's like this shaking your body can just do that'll just do to release stuck energy, stuck fear, trauma, like shaking. Let it shake. Just let your body shake and get rid of that worry and that energy. Okay. It's a good thing. It's a release thing. It just seems a little weird sometimes because we don't understand what our bodies are doing. Oh, and then sorry, just on the back here came out the Akashic. So maybe you also want to see an Akashic records practitioner. I want to say teacher. So maybe you should even look into your own Akashic records, because honestly, so much of what is going on for y'all is predestined, like I mean soul contracted, that I really think seeing someone in astrology or Akashic records would like help you understand why it's all happening in the way it is. Okay, just as like further tools you can use to understand the whole situation. And like I said, I feel like this is a longer period, so maybe depending on your age, you could be in a Saturn return, or you could be, I don't know, is it Mars? Is it a Mars return? I don't know. I'm not great with astrology, so don't trust my planetary things, but I feel like there's one of those planets that come in and kind of create shit in your life for a little bit. Comes like every 30 years or every 60 years or something like that. And I think this could be something that you're also going through with right now, and a lot of it's just going to really validate and explain to you what is with this chaos. Okay, so I am wishing you the best of luck. You've got this. You got this. You got this. You're destined to get through it. Okay, best of luck, and maybe I'll see you around.